Imagine a world where the Iraqi Dinar, a currency you've probably only heard about in whispers and online forums, suddenly becomes the talk of the global financial world. Picture this: the value of that dinar you've been holding, or perhaps just curious about, not just inching up, but skyrocketing to achieve a one-to-one parity with the US dollar. It sounds like a fantasy, a pipe dream peddled by get-rich-quick schemes, but what if I told you that the ground beneath this very idea is shifting so dramatically right now that even the most skeptical analysts are being forced to sit up and take notice? We are not just discussing hopeful speculation anymore. We are looking at a confluence of geopolitical maneuvers, hard economic reforms, and startling international endorsements that are piece by piece constructing a runway for this financial jet to finally take off. Their names Frank26 and MarkZ are no longer just voices in the wilderness. Their analysis is increasingly being reflected in the actions of the Iraqi government itself. And the latest developments are perhaps the most compelling evidence we have ever received that this long-awaited event is transitioning from a what-if to a when. Let's talk about the most critical piece of this puzzle, the undeniable public and strategic move by Iraq towards international monetary integration. For decades, the Iraqi dinar was isolated, a currency trapped within its own borders, but the recent and almost silent adoption of international digital payment systems like Visa and MasterCard within Iraq's banking sector is a revolution in disguise. This isn't just about convenience for tourists. This is about Iraq forcefully inserting itself into the global financial bloodstream. Every transaction processed through these systems is a silent scream to the world that Iraq is open for business, that its financial infrastructure is being hardened to international standards, and that its currency is being prepared for a level of scrutiny and stability it has never before endured. This digital gateway is the prerequisite for a strong, internationally traded currency, and its successful implementation tells us that the technical groundwork for a revaluation is not just being planned, it is already being laid, brick by digital brick. But the plot thickens exponentially when we bring in the elephant in the room, the United States Treasury. The narrative that the U.S. is an adversary to Iraq's financial sovereignty is being dismantled. Insider reports and credible financial analysts are pointing towards a series of closed-door meetings and policy alignments that suggest not just acceptance, but an active green light from the U.S. Treasury for Iraq's monetary reforms. Why would the United States, the guardian of the petrodollar system, ever agree to such a thing? The answer lies in a grander, global chessboard. A stable, financially independent Iraq is a strategic bulwark against regional instability and a crucial partner in a new era of energy politics. The U.S. Treasury's potential blessing is not an act of charity. It is a calculated move to create a stable ally in a volatile region, and a revalued Iraqi dinar is the cornerstone of that stability. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's realpolitik playing out in the financial markets. The removal of Iraq from the U.S. Treasury's monitoring list for currency manipulation was not a random act. It was a signal, a diplomatic nod that Iraq is now playing by the rules of the international financial community and is being rewarded for it. This green light is the political wind at the back of the central bank of Iraq, empowering them to push through the tough, often painful reforms necessary to strengthen the currency without the fear of sudden and crippling international sanctions. When you combine this political cover with the tangible economic reforms happening on the ground, the crackdown on monetary corruption, the tightening of fiscal policy, and the direct funding of the government through oil revenues instead of printing new currency, you see a perfect storm brewing, a storm that has the potential to wash away the old, weak dinar and usher in a new, powerful one. This is no longer just hope. It is a coordinated, multi-front operation. Now let's pivot to the most dramatic and visually compelling evidence we've seen in years. A scene that unfolded not in the backrooms of a bank, but on the world stage at the United Nations. The recent high-level visit of Iraqi delegates to the UN headquarters wasn't just another diplomatic meeting. It was a powerful declaration of intent, a global press conference without the press, signaling Iraq's triumphant return to the fold of sovereign nations. Think about the symbolism here. For a country that has been defined by conflict and instability for the better part of 2 decades, to stand in that hallowed hall and articulate a clear, confident, and comprehensive plan for monetary reform is a message that echoes far beyond the economic reports. This was Iraq telling the world, we are ready. The discussions there undoubtedly revolved around Chapter 7 obligations and international treaties, but the subtext was crystal clear. The conditions that once justified a suppressed program, rate currency, are no longer present. The UN visit serves as the ultimate audit, a legitimacy check that Iraq seems to have passed with flying colors, And this international stamp of approval is the final layer of credibility needed to convince global markets that the new dinar will be a safe bet. This legitimacy is the rocket fuel that the revaluation needs, because without the trust of the international community, any attempt to launch the currency to a one value would be doomed to fail. But what about the internal mechanics? What is happening inside Iraq right now to make this dream a tangible reality? The answer lies in a financial revolution that is as profound as it is technical, the death of the electronic platform and the birth of a true, internationally recognized exchange rate. For years, the platform acted as a cage, an artificial barrier that created a dual economy with an official rate for the government and a much weaker black market rate for the people. The dismantling of the system is the single most important domestic economic event in modern Iraqi history. It means the central bank of Iraq is now directly setting the price of its currency, asserting its sovereignty and unifying the nation under one financial truth. This is a painful but necessary surgery, cutting out the cancerous speculation that has plagued the dinar for so long. The volatility we see in the street rate right now is not a sign of failure. It is the sound of a market finding its true level, a necessary chaos before a new order is established. And this new order is being engineered with surgical precision by the Central Bank of Iraq, which is now actively and publicly managing its foreign reserves, not just to defend an artificial peg, but to build a war chest capable of defending the new higher value once it is announced that they're mopping up excess liquidity, the trillions of dinars in circulation, through sophisticated monetary tools like treasury auctions and bond sales, effectively taking physical cash out of the system to increase its scarcity and therefore its value. This is Economics 101, and the CBI is proving to be an astute student. Furthermore, the government's budget is now being calculated and debated based on a higher exchange rate, a telltale sign that the political machinery is already operating in a post-revaluation reality. They are not waiting for a miracle, they are building the foundation for it. When you see government ministries planning their massive reconstruction projects, the new cities, the infrastructure, the ports using a financial model that assumes a stronger dinar, you know this is no longer a theory. The entire state apparatus is pivoting, preparing for a new economic dawn. This internal alignment from the highest levels of government down to the central bank's monetary policy creates a feedback loop of confidence that makes the revaluation a self-fulfilling prophecy. The UN visit provided the external legitimacy, and these domestic reforms are providing the internal strength. They are the two pillars holding up the bridge that will carry the Iraqi dinar from its past into its very, very different future. So where does this leave us? The observers, the holders, the patiently waiting? It leaves us on the precipice of a financial event that will be studied in economic textbooks for generations to come. We have connected the dots from the digital integration and the US Treasury's silent acquiescence to the powerful symbolism of the UN visit and the brutal, necessary medicine of internal monetary reform. The mosaic is now complete, and the picture it reveals is undeniable. This is not a matter of if anymore. It is a matter of when, and that when feels closer today than it ever has before. But understanding this journey is one thing. Understanding the aftermath, the seismic shockwaves that a 1:1 IQD to USD exchange rate will send across the globe is what truly separates the informed from the speculative. Imagine the immediate effect on the Iraqi people themselves, a nation suddenly catapulted into a position of unprecedented purchasing power. Overnight, the quality of life for the average Iraqi citizen could transform not through aid or charity, but through the sheer strength of their own currency. This newfound wealth would fuel a consumer boom of historic proportions, as pent-up demand for everything from automobiles and technology to housing and education is unleashed, creating a gold rush for international businesses smart enough to position themselves at the starting line right now. But the ripple effects extend far beyond Iraq's borders, striking at the very heart of the global petrodollar system. Iraq, sitting on one of the world's largest reserves of oil, would now be selling that oil in a currency that is at parity with the US dollar, fundamentally altering the dynamics of energy markets and international trade. This doesn't necessarily break the petrodollar, but it certainly cracks its monopoly, offering other nations a viable, stable alternative and redistributing financial power more broadly across the Middle East. For the United States and Europe, a revalued dinar creates a powerful new partner in a geopolitically volatile region, a nation capable of funding its own security and infrastructure, thereby reducing the long-term burden on American taxpayers and creating a formidable, self-sufficient ally against regional adversaries. This is the grand chessboard in action, where currency values are the pieces and global stability is the prize. For you, the individual watching this screen, this transcends geopolitics and becomes intensely personal. This is about financial sovereignty, but an opportunity to participate in a wealth transfer event so rare that most people go their entire lives without ever witnessing one. This is your chance to be on the right side of a historic economic correction. But this moment also demands a profound sense of responsibility and a commitment to the truth. The information space surrounding the Iraqi dinar is polluted with fear, uncertainty, and doubt, deliberately seeded by those with a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. Your greatest shield against this is knowledge. Your greatest weapon is verified analytical information. This is not the time for guesswork or emotional decisions. It is the time for clarity, for strategy, and for calm, deliberate action. You have now been equipped with the full picture, from the technical groundwork to the political machinations to the global implications. You are no longer in the dark. You are armed with the context needed to understand the headlines as they break, to separate the signal from the noise, and to make decisions from a place of power, not panic. The journey of 1,000 miles is ending with these final decisive steps. The runway is lit. The engines are fired. The world is watching. And now the most important question is directed at you. What will you do with this information? How will you prepare for the single most significant financial event of your lifetime? The responsibility now rests on your shoulders. Do not let this moment pass you by.